Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Clan Pestilens campaign. Now before I get started with today's episode, sorry for not uploading last Friday. I wasn't feeling well and decided to just leave it for the day instead. But I am feeling much better and looking forward to continuing today's campaign. Now we are starting things off with a siege defense at the marks of the old ones, and originally I was going to fight it. But when I was setting up the menace below before starting the episode, I noticed as I increased my uses, you can see the balance bar moving up quite a bit, into the point where we can witness an auto-resolve. So I'm going to take the risk. I mean, it's a garrison, so I don't really care what we lose. Oh, didn't lose that much. Well done, guys. Okay, so what do I want to do with these survivors? I think out of these, I'm just going to go and sell them off. Get a bit of extra cash coming in. Oh, and it's already back to my turn. Okay. Now that's not good news. The Children of Hualotal have finished another ritual. Although, speaking about the Children of Hualotal, I'm going to come back to these guys. For now though, what else we got? Slam Mage Priest. Oh, Clan Moors has finished their ritual as well. Useful for us. Enemy killed. Okay, raiding. Oh, that's all the raiding. Okay. So, what was I going to say? Children of Hualotal. Right. So, as you know, during the campaign, we have focused a lot of our attention down here in the south of Lustria. We've defeated many enemies and managed to consolidate our position to the point where we now basically control all of southern Lustria. Now the problem is, while we've been doing that, Hualotal have been doing the same up in the north, and they've done just a good job. In fact, if you look at the ritual bar here, they've done a much better job than we have, considering how far ahead they are. Now this is a slight problem because they're halfway now towards their final ritual, and I've never actually got to that point in a campaign before where the AI has beaten me to the final ritual, so I don't really know what happens. As far as I'm aware, from reading things up and that a while back, what will happen is that basically we will have a chance to intervene, very similar to the AI gets to when we do the final ritual. So we fight the enemy army, defeat them, and that will push them back or something like that. I don't really know. But I'd rather try and take the fight to the enemy as soon as we can, because that will be a much better use of our time, I think. So instead of going after my target before, where I talked about going after Clan Skrolk, we are just going to focus our attention on Hualotal. Now we've got a very good place to start things off actually, and that's over here to the west at Hualotal, where you can see we've got 3 full stacks of lizardmen. Now the thing is, I can't remember who we got, so... Oh, Hualotal. So bearing in mind, this is not the DLC version of Hualotal. I haven't got early access or anything. This is the character introduced through Mixu's Lord pack. And I've played with him before, it's pretty cool. But you've got, okay, a reasonable army. What about you? Nakai the Wanderer. He's going to be a tougher challenge in my opinion. And I can't help but notice he's got a bunch of creatures, including the Shredder of Lustria, and 4 Bastardons with Vivification Crystals. Now actually, one sec. Oh, that's not... okay. So if you see my Talakwa campaign with Tic-Tac-Toe and that, a mod I prefer to use for the Bastardons with Vivification Crystals is, instead of using it as an active ability like the vanilla version is, you can see here, 7 uses, targeting an ally, heals the unit. The one I like to use is more of a passive bonus to the surrounding area, very similar to the corpse cards with lodestone that the vampire accounts use, as well as other ones like the mortars engine and that. Now usually I keep the mod in even when I'm not playing as the lizardmen because I just prefer that version of it, but I must have forgot to put it in this mod pack. Well, it's one of those things I guess, we're gonna just make do. Now, who are you though? Oh, right. Lord Hualotal. I can never pronounce the bloody Slam Mage's priest's name. But he's the Slam Mage priest who's in charge of Slanopec, the city of mists, further up to the northeast. So he's going to be a little tough one, especially with all these Pterodon riders. as you can know with my Skaven armies, we haven't got a big focus on missile units. So yeah, this could be interesting. But if we can take out all 3 units, that's really going to put Hualotal back on the, back foot. Because we've defeated 3 full stacks. Right. I know we got Lord Skrolk down here. Let's grab Bubble Rat, though. You can see it's here. Let's have a look. Probably can use the underwear to go a little further. Yeah. So if we get you... What do we prefer? Over here? Over here. Let's get you here. Because then we can use... Just go, do normal stance into 1 down here. So that's you done. What about you then, Skrolk?
Clan Pestilens is all.
Now, bearing in mind, we could be patient and just wait another turn until Bubble Rat can make his way down and join in the fight. But the thing is, Lord Skrolk's army is one of the most powerful armies we've got. It's highly experienced, as you can see. And not only that, but between our ability to ambush as well as use Lightning Strike, we should be able to do a fair bit of damage to at least 1 or 2 of these armies, perhaps even all 3. I mean, what's Hualotal got as a garrison? Not much, actually. You know what? Let's give it a go. So we'll go after Hualotal first, and I'll work our way east then from there. So, okay, attacking the children of Hualotal, but we can use Lightning Strike, and that just gives me a massive bonus. Okay, I want to resolve that. Close victory, okay. How much are we going to get out of this? 20 foods. How much money? Nearly 7,500 tokens. Ooh. It is tempting then to go for the sell-off, but 11% replenishment. I think, given that we're going to try now and find Nakai the Wanderer, this might be a better use of the casualties. What type of thing? Sacrifice? Ooh. He who hunts the hunter. A hero, killer, badass, demon slayer. He had many names and titles, but none of that matters anymore. He is hunted down now. So Lord Skrolk gets extra missile resistance and speed. That's useful. And so, next target. Nakai has been caught in an ambush. Alright, I'll tell you what. Let's give the Banner of the Under Empire to my other unit of Sensor Bearers. And... yeah, let's just go ahead and kill them. Okay, we took a few more casualties. See, 2,000 this time. 11% replenishment. Yeah, over 8,000. Oh, we got a lot to spend our tokens on this turn then. Picked up a Hellpit Attendant. War Energy Condenser, okay. Wanderer no more. All journeys must eventually come to an end. This one has been cut short long before reaching its destination, however. So Skrolk now gets extra melee defense and a bonus against large creatures. Okay. Now we can't reach Hualotal. We can't really use Force March to get back to friendly territory. And I had noticed, as we moved Skrolk, we have another full stack army up here. Oh, Tehran. Right. Okay. What's your movement? Just to here, right. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna get you, Skrolk, to move here. What I hope will happen is if the enemy decides to attack, they're gonna try and probably use both forces. I mean, I would, in that position. If they bring Tehran down to attack, we can retreat and hopefully, given the direction it will probably end up retreating to, will actually put us into friendly territory. I was going to say friendly casualties. Friendly territory where we can actually replenish our troops. So, yes, it's going to be a bit of a risk, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with Skrolk. In the meantime then, Plague Rock, let's have a look. What can we do with you? Could attack units, 29%. Assassinate? Sure. What's that happens? He dies. Oh no, success. Okay. And he's now got Eshin's Finest. Extra 10% chance to assassinations. Oh, that's useful. We'll better use it anytime soon because of exhaustion, but it's useful. Okay, what next? Skrolk. Ah, yes, Mormel. Now, if you remember, we've had Mormel laying siege to the Fortress of Dawn for quite some time. So, let's have a quick look.
They will die!
Okay, wall strength is 68%. The enemy garrison itself is quite bad. But the army with the fleet, the Black Ark, I should say, is fine. Wait. So, does this mean, technically, the Black Ark isn't part of the garrison then? Huh. You know what? This might make me try something here. I don't know how that makes sense, because as far as I'm concerned, normal game would make it so the Black Ark is garrisoned inside the settlements. But not according to this. Okay, we'll use Lightning Strike. I'll get some uses of the Menace below, just in case, but I think we'll be okay. And yeah, as long as we do the opposite of what I tend to do and actually be strategic and take our time, I think we could probably get away with taking very few casualties. We'll have to watch out for the Black Ark's abilities, because I presume they're still going to be used in the fight, but
Kill fight mode on.
yeah, let's give this a go. Well guys, here we are outside the Fortress of Dawn, as we're watching the terror below digging its way through the walls. Now, I saw this on the mod page that the mod creator actually created a dig-in visual for when this unit can attack walls, and I just wanted to check it out in this battle, which is why I got it to attack the walls, even though there was no reason for me to actually do so. But I must say, it did look really cool just watching it undermine the wall like that. Very, very cool. And if you want to see it happen from the beginning, that's exactly what it does. That does look really cool. Disgusting when you look at the actual unit, but it does look cool nevertheless. Anyway, if we go back to the actual battle itself, you can see we're a little way into it already. And what I'm doing at this point is actually being fairly methodical, which is a rare thing for me in these battles. What I'm doing is, because I don't want to sacrifice any of my units when we don't need to, I've set all my artillery up with the, well, Ickett's Wares slowly making his way over. But I've got these guys and the Destroyer Fofiends basically going after all the towers on this side of the wall. We've already done all the damage, well, one tower at least. We're just in the middle of destroying another one that's being occupied right now. There has been already a hole in the wall. This was here before I started the battle. So we have an entranceway into the city if we wanted to. But I'm quite happy at the moment just blasting away the walls and things like that. Now these shots, I was trying to hit this one. And then it occurred to me afterwards, one, we were actually hitting it. And two, it's not actually going to be able to shoot at us. So there was no point in me actually firing at it. So instead, once I got a few more shots in, I'll start focusing on the other towers. Now we've got a little way to go before I start onto the next stage of the assault, so I'm going to skip forward a little bit and see you guys shortly. So here we are on phase 2 of the battle. Now that we've eliminated the enemy's towers, we are in a position to be able to shoot at the enemy's units without them being able to fire at us. The enemy garrison just consists mainly of Corsairs with hand bows, so they have nowhere near the range that we have. And so I'm taking the opportunity to basically blast them on the walls with our mortar teams. The Giselles as well are just finding a way up here, but given the walls are blocking some of the shots, they're not as effective, but you can already see how much damage they've already done. And now that Mormel special delivery and soon the avalanche mortars are going to get involved. Oh no, never mind. They're going to go after here. But yeah, between all of my artillery units and missile units, the enemy's garrison is not going to be sticking around for too long. Once the garrison has been dealt with, really there's not much left to do with regards to the remaining survivors. We've got a Death Hag, who's, thanks to her position, I can't actually fire at. We also got a unit of Dark Riders over here. And in the center itself, we've got another unit of Dark Riders and repeater bolt throwers. Now, these guys are going to be quite out of range for my mortar crews. I'm going to have to rely, if I wanted to use artillery in that, on using the Plague Claw catapults, but we'll be able to deal with those another way soon enough. Now, at this point of the battle, what I'm basically doing is trying to move my artillery up, my missile infantry up, so we can actually try and go after the Dark Riders in the back. I was kind of hoping that the enemy might be persuaded to let their Death Hag come into view, so we can actually shoot at them, but wasn't going to happen. Instead, I got some units going after the Corsairs here, which, yeah, they didn't last too long, did they? I mean, I just got blasted with that last round. Wow. But now I'm just getting the troops a little bit closer. We've got Ikech as well. I've been trying to use his rockets, but I think thanks to the way the walls are arranged, he's not able to get the proper arc over it. So he's not been able to use it in this battle, but it's okay. We've got plenty of firepower in the form of these guys instead. So with these now dealt with, all I need to do is focus on the, well, mortar crews to go after the unit in the back here. I'm going to try and get Vatican shooters to take a few shots as well, but it's going to be hard for them to try and shoot through the gates. But you can imagine once these guys get into range, there's not going to be much left of them. Just need them to get into position. I'm trying to see if I can show off some of the animations, because there's a really cool little animation that some of them do, right? Let's see if we can see it happen. Any seconds? No? Okay. Basically, there's a little animation which I thought was really funny when they first announced it, when the DLC for these guys came out. And what happens is that it shows you them dropping the globe, the guy in the front, and then they're like looking away like, oh my god, is it going to explode? No, it's not. It's okay. It's safe. This is really cool to watch, but doesn't look like we're going to be seeing it now that... Oh, there we are. Oh, you saw it just then, but it jumped back. Damn it. Anyway. Between the mortar crews, we're able to get rid of the Dark Riders fairly quick. And then it's just a case then of going after the last couple of survivors back here. Now, like I said, they're quite out of range. I didn't really want them to do anything like try and, get the artillery and wait for them to get in a position. So I figured we could do something else instead, especially now these guys are running away. So, what is Phase 3, you may be asking? It's this. Taking advantage of the menace below and the terror below. Once I let things speed up a little bit, here comes just a horde of rats from underground. Now, given these are the last two units, apart from the Death Hag, it's enough to shatter them completely, and the Fortress of Dawn belongs to me. Now, this is a garrison battle, so we can let the survivors run off, and we will just automatically win. And there we have it, a decisive victory. Let's go back to the campaign map and decide what we're going to do with the settlements. Now that to me is a decisive victory. So a battle where I lose no units apart from, well... So, a decisive victory to me, which is pretty much what I expected. We took it nice and methodical and we got the result I wanted. So, very happy with that. Let's click this, and... oh, we can't actually sack it and get much in the way of money. In that case...
Precious things.
I'm gonna go ahead and actually occupy it. And I'm gonna use some food to get up to here. Now there's a reason behind this madness, right? What I'm thinking is, given its central location between Lustria and the Southlands, and the fact that we're facing Hag Grief in battle for like a long time now, I figured it'd be best if we could have something like here which may even draw any invading armies to here rather than to Lustria. So if we can keep them tied up here, that'll be fantastic. But obviously, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. In the meantime though, apart from picking up a mechanic, we've now got the ability to replenish our forces, which is why I really wanted to fight the battle anyway, so we didn't run the risk of losing Slayer Thing and Slasher Thing, as well as, well, Thing. God, all the things. Anyway, that's Mormel now moved. Babarat's moved. Oh yeah, the Death Master. So I definitely want him to come and join Babarat and Skrolk in the attack against Hualotal. But what I think I'm going to do with you first is, if we use the underway, if you remember, we've got these rogue armies just sort of scattered around here. So if we can get you... yeah, let's put you here. Because then you can march south, then. And hopefully be able to catch a bunch of these. We'll have to see what happens, though. But hopefully, that will work out. But there we go. That's all of our units. We now got 28,900 tokens to spend. And I know exactly where I want to spend it. If you remember, here in the Grakmol crater, we've recently upgraded the settlement to a tier 5. Which means now we can upgrade our monsters and our engineering buildings. So by doing this, this will allow us to recruit Storm Fiends with very powerful weaponry, as well as a bunch of other units. And from here, once we go up to the laboratory, we'll be able to recruit not just a Hellpit Abomination, but more Storm Fiends, a unique unit that was introduced with the same mod that has given us the Burrow and Behemoth and things like that, as well as the Chimerates. I would love to see what these guys look like. And we'll have to see about potentially using, global recruitment. That's the word I'm looking for. In order to try and recruit them into Mormel's army. Because I think that would be quite cool. But we'll have to wait and see. For the moment, we'll wait for them to finish building. Let's go ahead and give you this. And I think we'll upgrade the defenses. I'm spending a fair bit of money here, admittedly. But given how, well, high tier it is, I think it's in our best interest to make sure it's okay. So yeah, I don't want anything else for there. Let's just go ahead and give it some more food through the storage caves. And with that, is there anything else to upgrade? Mine and the Bearded Skull, we can go ahead and get a Plague Abbey, I guess, if I want it. Forgotten Isles, we'll upgrade the defenses here. One next, Spineless Hotek, okay. I'll leave that for the moment. We'll upgrade in the Great Turtle Isle. Oh yeah, Fortress of Dawn. So let's see, first of all, we want to use the commandments. Let's get our hands on some cheaper buildings. And I would have liked to actually try and get some defenses, but we're just slightly out of the cost. In fact, you're not going here for... No. You guys. Are you all in too? No. What about you? Trade agreements? No. Okay, Moors. You guys kind of like me. Are you willing just to offer me some money? No. Okay, so much for that plan. I was hoping just to try and nab a little bit of extra cash so we can get it built, but it's okay, we'll manage. In the meantime, let's quickly upgrade characters. So Lock Shini, let's give you Opportunists. Increase that charge bonus. Mormel. Now we did finish off Quartermaster and Renowned and Feared. We were in the middle of upgrading Modern Knowledge, but we can get a Doom Wheel. That was an easy choice. Okay, Ickbolt the Contagious. Let's give you Deadly Onslaught. Plague Rock. We've basically finished off all the campaign skills. We could give you Replenish Troops, but yeah, at this point, why not, eh? Ekich. Right. Let's give you Overseer. We might as well finish that off. And then, I don't know, we might start working on your magic or something. Ooh. Let's repair that. Excuse me. Let's get some more food here. Upgrade that. And then, yeah, finally hit end turn. Okay, here comes Tehran, like I predicted. Is he coming? Okay. Defending against him. That's actually not a bad auto-resolve. You know, balance of power, I should say, given how injured some of my units are. But I'm going to run the risk of retreating. And we did get back into friendly territory. That's good. Now, they're going to try and chase after us with that Slam Mage Priest. No. Okay. And you've made a stupid mistake there, Tehran. Okay. So we get some news that an Undercity has been discovered in Kayaks. Now, given that we are Skaven City anyway, with our own Undercity, does that sort of make it an Undercity? Who knows? But we've got to deal with that. Kingdom of Avalon have finished their ritual. Whoops. Alright, what next? Scheme of Doom. Oh yeah, this. So we just had a tiny rebel army attack kayaks during the end turn phase. I defeated it in an auto-resolve very easy, but I forgot to actually talk about it, so it's not that important. But that's why that happened. Oh, warpstone explosion in Itza. Interesting. Right. Let's have a look. Only 250 to destroy it. Okay. You know, to be honest, I don't like that mechanic. Even as a player, right? Whether or not I'm suffering from an undercity into my settlements or something like that. What I think would have been quite cool instead is to actually fight a battle. Like a siege battle between the garrison and of the city above, as well as any army inside. And the garrison, so to speak, of the Undercity, because that would have been a much better way, that if you lose as the owner of the Undercity, you lose the Undercity. But if you win, you get a chance to actually, fight. You might either stop the owning faction at the top to actually destroy the city for a while, or even just capture the settlement directly. I think that would have been a much cooler mechanic than just clicking a button if you had enough money and get rid of it, you know? Anyway, that's that done. We could actually upgrade kayaks, but I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the Night Forest just to give us some extra fortifications. We'll grab that too. And then, before we spend any more money, let's try and make some more by going after our enemies. So over here, a couple of those rogue armies moved away, but one did stay behind. So, goodbye, Henry. No, I don't think you understood the plan, Henry. I said goodbye, Henry. There we go. That's you dead. Alright, 705. Let's grab a bit more food from them. And another Help It attendant. I swear we've gained so many at this point that I'm wondering if Help It is actually running out of specialized Skaven, given all of them seem to be crossing over to join us. But, one of those things. We'll get you then to make your way over here. In the next turn, we'll see about using the underway to jump over to here. Let's see, you. We can actually lay siege to Hualotal. Let's go ahead and get you to attack. Depending on how Skrolk deals with Tehran, we may be in a position to get him to come in and join in the reinforcement. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let me continue the siege just a moment. If needed, I will build siege equipment, but for now, Skrolk, go and kill him off. Goodbye. Alright. We'll go ahead and eat the captives. I just want to see how much money we're going to get out of this. 7,000. I'll take that. Foul pendants, 10% ward save. And then if we grab you, let's bring you in over here now as reinforcements.
Stop this. Get the things.
Right. You know what? I'll take the risk. Auto-resolve. Took a few casualties, but that's okay. We'll easily get that back through replenishment. So let's click that, and let's sack it first. Get some money. Picked up the speed of Lycos, a crappy item in my opinion. Ooh. I mean, those abilities aren't that good, really. I mean, out of the two of them, probably post-battle chance would have been nicer. The attrition could be okay, I guess. You can't quite reach it. But if we get Skrolk now to move in. Yeah, we'll use some food. Let's jump it up to tier 3. It hasn't got any landmark buildings or anything like that worth upgrading it anymore. But then we can get you a Plague Rock, make your way up towards the cavern, just to see what we're dealing with over here. Okay, that's fine. Alright, Mormel.
Ill considered.
I'm gonna let him have one more turn. Oh, no. Wait. With the exception of Slayer Thing and Slasher Thing, all my other units are back up to full fighting strength, right? Should we take a risk and go after the Black Ark?
Short-sighted.
While they do have their abilities here, on the whole, I think we can deal with this army. I mean, we've got more than enough firepower and monstrous creatures to deal with this. And there's nothing here that's making me think, oh my god, that's going to be horrible to face. Yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, Mormel, let's get you. Okay, Bounce Bar is 50-50. I'm going to go ahead though and use the Lightning Strike, just because it usually gives you the enemy a morale debuff because they're caught unawares. So we'll go for that. Right. Wait. I'm not entirely sure how we can get uses of the Menace below on a Black Ark ship. But sure, I'll grab a couple of them just in case. Yeah, we'll just go for 2. I don't think we'll need it given what we've got. But, yeah, see you guys down there. So here we are on top of the Black Ark itself as we prepare to take on the garrison stationed on the ship. And I just want to take a moment before we actually get into the battle itself, just to show off how cool this map is. It's gotta be among my top 5, or even the top 3 I should say, maps for Warhammer 2, because the idea of fighting on a Black Ark is just so awesome. Now, if you don't know your Warhammer history with regards to the Black Arks were created during the Great Sunderwind, where High Elves and Dark Elves fought one another before they became known as High Elves and Dark Elves. They were just traitors and loyalists. Relatively speaking, it depends on which side you asked. Now, what ended up happening right near the end is that through dark magics, the forces of the elves, and mages, I should say, of the elves that eventually became known as the Drukai, ended up sundering some of their citadels, their castles and fortresses, away from the Isle of Ulthuan. So they actually became floating cities, eventually known as the Black Arks. So just look at the size of this to give you some scope, right? And these would be very much true to scale in the Warhammer universe. So it would have been massive when you think about this. Floating through the seas by magic, turning up on coastlines in order to raid and steal slaves. And especially when you see little things here, like look at this up here, the avatar of Cain watching over the ship. So cool. Anyway, let's head back down to the battlefield a minute, where if I bring out the unit flags back up, you can see I've gone for a fairly defensive line as per usual, but what I've ended up doing this time around was putting all my monstrous creatures, such as, the Thing, Slasher Thing, Slayer Thing, and the Terror below, on the left flank. Their job was to try and make their way around this side to attack the enemy in the rear when they came closer. And I've done the same thing on the right here with Ickbolt the Contagious, who, thanks to his Bonebreaker, had decided to take the opportunity to run around this side. Now, one advantage I had in this battle is these 2 things in particular, and there's 3 of them scattered around the map. Because of their location and the fact that they are impassable terrain, what it means is that the enemy are going to have to make their way towards us because of my artillery, and these are going to funnel them into a very small area. Which means, as I get closer and I can open up with the mortar crews, my Giselle units and stuff like that, it's just really going to do a ton of damage to them. Now, if we speed things up a little bit... Oh, one thing I wanted to show, actually. Just because I don't think I've seen it yet. Showed you guys in... Well, actually, no. We only just got it, didn't we? You have to remember, I'm doing these replays after I've done the episode, so I was trying to remember what's what, but... Check out Mormel's, Doom Wheel. I love the little details to it, like this guy pumping away on the back to make sure the engine and that go. All the warp lightning arcing across it and that. It's so cool. And the fact you can see him inside as well. This is just so awesome. And I like the fact that I've kept as well Mormel's pet thing right next to him, because obviously he needs his pet with him. Anyway, let's speed things up a little bit now. You can see at this point, the AI is a little stuck on what to do. They're trying to bring their enemy units closer and closer, and trying to keep them so they come together at once, but all they end up doing is keeping them all bunched together like this, so I'm able to just go to town with all my heavy weapon fire. We activate a brass orb to get a few kills in over here. We've got other things going off here and there as well, and yeah, it's just a bad day to be on this ship for the Dark Elves. Now over on this side, I've actually got our first bit of combat going on. We've got some Dread Knights and Doomfire Warlocks, and I actually want to take a second. I've never actually seen the Doomfire Warlocks. At least I don't remember seeing them in campaigns before. And given I've actually got about 20 of them as models sitting on my shelf to put together at some point for my Daughters of Cain army, oh yeah, they do look kind of cool. I don't know if they've got the magical abilities. I'll have to try and use them sometime. They do look cool. Definitely need to do a Dark Elf campaign at some point. Anyway, you can see here that the enemy are about to try and cast some abilities of theirs from the Black Ark, obviously providing support for their troops. But against, well, Clan Molder's best is not going to be the best thing for them. But as we head over now to the main front line itself, you can see that I've decided to just push forward and attack with all of my monstrous creatures. So the Clan Molder's best is just devastatingly slaughtering everyone that they're charging into. We've got over here Slasher Thing, Slayer Thing, Thing, and the Terror below is somewhere. In fact, where is he? Oh, it's here. Right. While they're doing that then, we're just watching them go to town. Warp Lightning blasting down, courtesy of Mormel. Units are all just scattered away at this point. Ichabod has just had a great time doing what he enjoys doing and trying to damage and kill enemy units. Actually, he hasn't managed to get any kills in. Oh, now he has. He's still taking his time to get around into position. But there we go. At this point, the entire enemy army has shattered, apart from the Admiral himself. What was his name? Leech Grimfinger? Or something like that? Now, he's trying valiantly to stand his ground, but I'm just allowing my Rat Ogres to just charge right past. He does actually catch up to them a little bit, but I didn't want them to get the kill in. I wanted Ichabod. So here comes Ichabod, just slashing his way through these tiny Rat Ogres. I mean, I've got a mod, right, in the mod pack that reduces enemy lords and heroes so they're actually more equal in size to their troops. So units, for example, like Orc war bosses and Chaos warriors will be quite big because in the lore they will be. Whereas units like, humans and that tend to stay the same size as the troops around them. So the fact that this Bonebreaker is just dwarfs the Rat Ogres, wow. Just wow. Anyway, Ichabod is just going to town. I don't even know what happened to... Oh, there he is. He's just about hanging on in there, but Ichabod is not having any of it. Bonebreaker is just trashing him, flinging him around like a ragdoll. It doesn't help I'm activating abilities like, wow, look at that attack, 620. Oh, this is a duel, and wham! Just sent him flying to the ground, body broken, in that final swing, wow. And with that, the battle is mine. You can see me chasing down the last few survivors as much as I can, but let's be honest, we've won this. I think it's time for us to make our way back to the campaign map. So, a close victory, although personally I disagree with the game. We managed to wipe out basically the entire infantry portion of the enemy's army, apart from, well, one unit of Black Ark Corsairs. All their cavalry units were able to outpace mine and get off the battlefield, but considering we only took 14 losses, I'm pretty happy how it went. Now what do I want to do with the survivors? We could go for the 21% replenishment, get our Rat Ogres back up to full strength. Or we can go for 2,000. To be fair though, we are talking about 28,500 already, so sure, we'll eat the captives, why not? Did anyone manage to escape? Yes, they did. Okay, give it a second. Another hell pit attendant. I think I might have to put these guys to use in a minute. Okay, in the meantime, come down and kill these guys off for me. Alright, again, use lightning strike, go ahead. Decisive victory. Although, Slayer thing came quite close, didn't he? Alright, let's go and eat the cactus again. Huh. Malus Darkblade is within attack range. What do you have? He's got a full stack, but we don't know what he has. My army, with the exception of the Slayer thing and Slasher thing, are still up at full strength, ready to go. Should we make this a hat trick? Do you think? We could even stop on the remnants of battle on the way, fight another battle. Ooh, that is tempting, but then I don't want to lose Slayer thing. We'll see if we can skirt past the remnants of battle, and we're just going to go ahead and attack Malus straight away. Get past... Oh, we picked it up. Damn it. The reason I didn't want to pick it up is because of this. If we want to get the Great Hoard of Treasure, we're going to have to fight the battle. Now, I could... I'm not saying I'm going to lose, because let's be honest, I'm going to win. But I don't want to lose Slayer thing to an auto-resolve. Fine, we'll fight the battle. I wanted our hat-trick battle to be against Malus, instead of against Margaret Halfmast. What a name. But, yeah, we'll fight the battle. See you guys down there. So here we are, as we prepare to take on the rogue pirates that attacked us as we were examining the wreckage. Now, before the battle actually kicks off properly, I want to slow things down and just admire the view, yet again. I know I did this last time, but I love the attention to detail that Creative Assembly have done for all these battle maps. And if we lift up a bit, just to, not only for the battle itself, but seeing stuff like the presence of the lizardmen in the towers scattered around, these wrecked ships off the coast of the island, and in the distance you can see these skulls of monstrous sea creatures. And looking at some of them, like, look at the size of this one. Now, I know there are things in Warhammer Fantasy in the oceans, like, you know, sea dragons and stuff like that. In fact, the Dark Elves were actually known for training these sea creatures and using them in their fleets. They would basically put a tower on the back of a sea dragon and basically use magic to control it in battle. It was really, really cool. But, yeah, just seeing the attention to detail scattered around the map and all these bones and that, it's just really, really cool to see. Good job to CA. But anyway, we're not here just to admire the view, we're about to try and kill off some pirates. So, let's bring back our unit cards, speed things up a little bit. And, well, it's going to be a little bit slow to begin with. You can see that I've gone for a fairly standard formation of the army, although I put all the monstrous creatures originally over on this side. My thinking was to try and get them to go through the woods here, but noticing that the enemy had a lot of their forces spread across the map, I figured... Oh, excuse me. I'm getting hiccups now. I figured it'd be best just to pull them back and let them control the right flank as the enemy get closer, especially as I can see the enemy's depth guards are coming in. Now, one thing I was a little worried about when it came to the enemy's units was this unit of mortars. So I decided to send in the Terror Below to try and do some damage. Now, in hindsight, sending the Terror Below was actually a bit of a mistake, for two reasons. One, it was actually taking a fair bit of damage from Margaret Halfmast, the vampire fleet admiral, who was taking some shots at him using her pistol. Now I just noticed actually, spiteful shot plus 90 accuracy and does magical damage. It's not going to exactly help me out, is it? But she's taken some shots in, which is why the Terror Blow is actually taking some damage. But the other issue is that it can only attack a couple of models at a time. And the ones it's decided to attack is the ones that are actually stuck in the water. Meaning these guys, right near the front, where the actual mortar pieces are, can actually still fire. So, luckily for me, they're not going to do a lot of damage, but still, it's something I need to be aware of in the future when using the Terror Blow in this way. Try and be a bit more careful when it comes to the shots. Now, I did use one of my abilities just to try and help things out a little bit. And while we leave the Terror Below to do its thing, you can just see the devastation across the map that my firepower has done. Brass Orb lost in a few units there, but now we've got Clan Molder's Best about to charge straight through these pirate deckhands. And well, let's be honest here, they're not going to have any chance against my ogres. You just see them slaughtering away, and already they're disintegrating completely. That charge was enough, bear in mind, to kill off a lot of enemy units. And we can already see more of them starting to crumble as the battle fights on. Over the side, I decided to help out a little bit by using Assault of Stone just to kill off a few more gunnery mob. And it's going to be very quickly that we get to the point where the only unit left is actually Margaret herself. Now you can see Margaret here taking some shots in. And while we ordered a cutlass, I don't really know what direction she's trying to get to. But she's starting to crumble as well thanks to the army losses. So let's have a quick look. Pipes of Piebald. Oh wait, I forgot I had this ability. So that was a magical item that just reduces the charge bonus and the speed. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, the fact that she's disintegrating as well just means as time goes on, she is now the only one left. Ickbolt comes in with a slash. And we don't even need to worry about it at this point. She's just going to start disintegrating away until, bam, she's dead. Didn't even need to touch her. But there we go, Ickbolt no doubt feels quite courageous, charging in to fight a vampire. And just like that, a decisive victory for us. Not the battle I would have gone for personally, for Mormel's hat-trick this campaign turn, but I'm quite happy with it nevertheless. So, let's carry on then to the campaign map, where we will continue with Mormel for the final assault against Malus Darkblade. So, after having to waste 3 whole minutes fighting that battle, what do I get out of it? Well, 1,400 warpstone tokens, right. Not really much use for any of these, so I'll just take the extra food. But what did I get it from the remnants of battle or actual events? Lost Convoy. Okay, 8,000 warpstone tokens. Not too bad then, I guess. Let's skip through all of these. And we can still go after Malus. Now, admittedly, I have no idea what he actually has in his army. But I still think we can do okay. The army itself has done extremely well. What I will do, though, this time, given that we are fighting, of course, Malus Darkblade, I'm going to go and quickly level up all my characters. So that way then we can make sure they're at their top peak condition before we start the battle. So, Warlock Master. After gaining the Doom Wheel, I do feel a little tempted going for Molder Knowledge, and we'll finish that off. Now, it's a bit of a toss-up. On the one hand, we can start working down some more battle skills, like engineering skill here can increase our artillery, whereas going for something like, which one is it? Blastmaster here, for the weapon teams, could be quite useful too. I mean, increasing it 10% reload reduction time. And a bunch of bonuses there, okay. Or we can start working on his spells, because we haven't really used a lot of spells with him, because we don't actually have much in the way of like major attack abilities. I think there is something to be said for doing that. Yeah, let's go for Scorch. Now we've got the 4 points, so we can actually skip past Scorch then, go to Evasion, and start going for some cool ones like Flensing Ruin and Crack Skull. Some actual damaging spells which are good in battle. But we'll go for that with you. Ickbolt, we'll finish off that for you. And then Ikich. What do I want to finish off? Arms Dealer? Or Sapper? Or again, I guess. In fact, let's go for increased mobility. And I think we'll go for Scorch. I noticed during the battles I've been fighting that with Ikich, For some reason, instead of using Warp Lightning, he is just starting with Scorch, when it should be the other way around. Now, I think that might have something to do with a mod I'm using, which makes it so Warlock engineers in garrisons have Scorch rather than Warp Lightning, and that's whether I'm using them or the AI is, because it just makes the battle a little bit more tougher rather than using such a powerful spell. But, yeah, it doesn't seem to be working as intended now, but it's okay, we'll manage. Instead, let's attack Malus. Okay, a fairly mixed army, I mean. We've fought armies like this before from him. Bunch of Corsairs, Executioners, Sisters of Slaughter. They do have some units like Charybdis here, some Feral Manticores, Scourge Runner Chariots could be interesting, but I think we'll be okay. I will get some uses of the Menace below, just in case, and I'll go ahead and use Lightning Strike for the morale debuff, and then, yeah, let's fight the battle. Poor Malus Darkblade. You'd think he'll be sick and tired of losing again and again and again to a bunch of walking, talking, plague-ridden rats. But here he is yet again with his army trying to defend their position as another horde of rats comes to make his life a living hell. Poor man. Poor man. Maybe you shouldn't have killed your dad, eh? One of those things. Karma is a bitch after all. Anyway guys, here we are for our fourth battle with Mormel, as we have tried to encourage the enemy army to come and attack us. It's taken a little while. Basically I had to wait about a minute or so trying to fire away at this unit of Black Ark Corsairs, just to encourage the enemy to start making their way towards us. But they have decided to do so in the end, which is great. So you can already see I'm opening up with Plague Claw catapults at the Corsairs, which is continue to fire on them. As we got into range though, I decided to use my Destroyer Fofiends to go after the Charybdis here, just because I was a little worried about it getting into combat, given it is anti-large, and so I thought I'll focus my artillery on that. It does mean that everyone else can get closer without being worried so much, although Ikit's wares are still making a mess of the enemy line like that. But we are doing some damage against the Charybdis, which is what I was mainly concerned about. The Manticores, really not that concerned, but let's sort of try and get some shots in when they get into range. The Giselles will soon be opening up on their position, and I figured it'll be best if they focus on the Feral Manticores, while the Mortar Crews, as you can see here, just rain destructive fire down on the enemy forces. Now, I really wanted to try and go after these guys in particular, the Hagenef Executioners and the Sisters of Slaughter. Although, let me just take a minute. I don't remember, we obviously must have saw them before. Yeah, it's an interesting colour scheme, isn't it? Anyway, let things carry on a bit. You can see I'm opening up now with a Brass Orb against the Sisters of Slaughters and Executioners. The Avalanche Mortars are just firing away. I really wanted to make sure the Sisters of Slaughter get killed. And we're just doing what damage we can. You can see a Scorch right there from Mormel, doing some damage. Going to be doing some Warp Lightning in just a second, as well as basically everyone else just going to town and doing damage here and there when needed. Over here got a little interesting. I sent Ickbolt in by himself, and he's actually having a whale of a time. Taking a bit of damage already, but looking at all those bonuses, look at it. Venomous Valor, Sword of Anti-Heroes, Deadly Onslaught, Foe Seeker. All of this is just boosting his stats up. I mean, look at that. Weapon Strength, 894. Sheer madness. And he's also got a healing potion on him as part of his magical items. So he'll be able to heal it up before you know it. In the meantime then, we've got things like Mormel's pet thing, decided to go and have a bit of fun with the Dark Riders coming in this way. And it won't be too long until, well, Clan Molder start charging forward. Now we've got the thing over here, just doing some damage against the Executioners. The Terror below has come out of the ground to go after these Dark Shards. I was a little worried about the Scourge Runner Chariots, because they are anti-large. But I noticed then that Mormel, apparently, is actually pretty good against them. So I got him charging across to ready to try and blast them with magic, I presume. I don't know if it's from his own missiles or if it is something else. But yeah, you can see him actually firing away along with the Giselles. So they're doing some damage over there. I'm also trying to be careful with the avalanche mortars and that so they don't do too much friendly fire. But for the most part, the battle is pretty much won for us. Luckily I had a clan Molder's best to go after the Feral Manticore. I was a little worried about this when I saw it actually coming down towards my front lines. But luckily for me, it decided to go after this unit of Rat Ogres instead of my more vulnerable units back here. But across the line you can see that units are just barely hanging on. This unit here is wavering, for example. Ekbolt has just had a ton of fun over here. Didn't kill as many as I would have liked, but I imagine that's something to do with the Feral Manticore, keeping him kind of busy. But with the Avalanche Mortars firing down, that's going to do a lot of damage there. Mormel's pet thing just going to have some fun. You can see the Charybdis tried coming back, but it's quickly scarpered. And across the map now, you can see everyone has shattered, including Malus, who is fighting for his life right now. Despite, I imagine him unleashing the demon inside. But against, how many? 16? 32, I would imagine? Yeah. 32 armoured rat ogres. Even he's going to have a tough time with this. But, nevertheless, I managed to chase down a couple of people before I realised, wait a minute, the enemy's army was in full sail. So, this army now is wiped out. And so, with that decisive victory, we can head back to the campaign map. So, another victory for Mormel, this time against Malus Darkblade. Actually, have we defeated him with Malus with Mormel before? You know what, I can't remember. Not that it really matters, there's another dead guy at the end of it. Let's go ahead and start them off this time. And because they were at full sail, we've managed to wipe out the entire army. We can find out now, actually. Spear Admiral, Fearless. Oh, we did defeat him after all. Now, what else can we do with Mormel? I would like to bring him back to the Fortress of Dawn, but I'm also spotting an opportunity for another Remnants of Battle. Nah, you know what? We've already fought so many battles with you. Let's have a look. Yeah, full speed ahead is not going to do much for you. Let's get you back to the Fortress of Dawn. Like I said, I wouldn't mind swapping out to try and get some more units in the future, so we'll do that. You've already moved. Barat's already conquered. Skrolk's already conquered. And you've already moved. Okay, that's everybody. Let's go ahead now and spend our 42,000 warpstone tokens. So here at the Fortress of Dawn, I wanted to go and upgrade the defences, so we'll go ahead and do that. Also, already got the Taskmaster's platform. Let's upgrade it. And then I suppose we can go for these traditional food. Or money, I should say, and food. There we go. So that's you done. What's next to be upgraded? Citadel of Dusk. Okay, we'll go ahead and upgrade that. We'll upgrade that. Get that. And I suppose we could have a look to see about upgrading our character capacity. So upgrading the clan armory, for example, will give us +2 chieftains. This will give us extra assassins. What I wouldn't mind trying to get my hands on is some more warlock engineers. So that's the one we need. And we have to go up to here to get it. Right. Okay, that's fine. What about here? Monstrous plans. Sure. Well, I'll tell you what then. Let's get our hands on a construction cavern. Just for that. Upgrade this as well for the extra foods. And we might as well just go out there and get some more food coming in too. So that's all of you done. And I suppose we could go for the turbines or the arcing generators, but not really worth it. Let's just go ahead, get our hands on a hidden layer, I guess. We'll grab that for you. Let's go back to my capital, actually, because I want to remember. Yeah, we can actually upgrade some more of these, so we'll go ahead and grab you that. Let's get our top tier defenses built. Here at the crater, we'll go ahead and do the same with these. Like so. And then, what else is there left to spend? Minor bit at Skull is okay. Forgotten Isles is doing just fine. Hualotal, of course, of course. Let's give you some defenses. We'll give you the Taskmaster platform as well, and just to help out, we'll go for some more money. Alright, Sentinels of Zentoi, we'll go for that. Everything is okay here at the Turtle Isles for now. And here, the Southern Sentinels. Let's go ahead and get that. Upgrade that. I wouldn't mind being able to upgrade this so we can get the walls. And of course we want to continue trying to upgrade Hualotal because they're having the gold mine. But we've got a number of turns left before we can even think about doing that. At least we've got the extra growth coming in. Okay, next bits. Bubble rats. Alright, what can I give you? I think at this point I will just give you some... Actually, did we finish? Yeah, we did. Let's just continue then and give you Scarred Veteran. Give you some extra health. Slice in. We'll go for Opportunist at this point. Death Master. Now we did finish Infiltrator, so he's got all of that. We did give you Quartermaster and Renowned and Feared, quite rightly, given who we're talking about here. I think it'd be best for us to continue focusing on his combat abilities. In particular, I wouldn't mind getting this, the Death Master Sigil. Now we need 4 points, so let's go and get Blade Shield. Then we'll either go for speed. Given we're talking about the Death Master, increasing the speed would be quite nice. Alright, Mormel, let's give you Evasion so you can get your hands on your powerful spells next time. Shab, let's give you Precise to increase your weapon damage. You can have armor. You can have Black Whirlwind. Never used it before, would love to see what it looks like. Oh, why, yeah, of course. We had damage happen here, didn't we? I know we could easily wait for it to be done, but I might as well spare the couple of tokens it would take to do all of this. Especially since it's gone down quite a bit because of the damage. And, yeah, that's it. Oh, Metaboy, you poor fool. Thinking you can attack the caverns of the Great Bats with that army? Goodbye. Didn't even lose a single person in that. Right, let's get a bit of extra food, just because why not? And there we go. Ooh, Swamp Town. We can entice the Skaven clans in the region to strike against our enemies in Swamp Town up to the north. Reducing growth, 750? Yeah, sure. Kill, kill, burn, burn. Alright, you picked up Fortunates. We got another engineering student. Sword of Cain. Right. So the big thing that happened during the end turn phase is that Mazamundi has turned up by Itza. So I think we might want to start getting Bubble Rats to make his way over. Now if we use the Underway, you can't quite make it all the way there, but we can get him quite close by. So we'll get you there. And Death Master, you're here. Let's get you over towards here too. I'll get you over this way, because then I don't think I have to worry about crossing the rivers if we come here. So yeah, you can do that. Skrolk will have you march up north, and you can attack the Cavern of the Malexical in order to add that to our territory. And you ready, of course? Thank you. I lost one unit, a person in that unit, and that was thanks to this unit of chameleon skinks. Okay, 20 foods. 5,000. Goodbye. Artifact Hunter. Okay. Can we reach it? Oh, we're just slightly out of range again. Oh, I hate that when it happens. No matter. Let's see now if we can kill off you, since you tried to attack us. That's better. Hates lizard men. Handy. Right. Oh, hang on. On guard. Oh, wait, he's on guard. Exhausted. Gotcha. Alright, Mormel. Let's get you back now to friendlier territory. And if the buildings are upgraded at the crater, I wouldn't mind trying to see if I can get my hands on some new beasties. So if we have a look-see at the crater, they have finished. Okay. Now, it's not ideal, obviously, doing global recruitment compared to local, but I just want to check out some of these units. Right, if we're going to do this, we might have to get rid of some of Clan Molder's best, but given that we're going to have much more powerful creatures join the team, I think that's something I'm quite happy to do. We just need to find where they are. Oh, here. So we've got Storm Fiend. So basically, these Storm Fiends are monstrous infantry, very good against enemy infantry, and I believe they come in 6 types. You've got 3 which are whatchamacallit, they're ranged units, and 3 that are melee. So thanks to our upgrades, we've got access to all of them. So we've got these Grinder Fist Storm Fiends that have armor piercing melee, as you can see, and that can attack walls. These guys with Shock Gauntlets, which give a magical aura. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, electrified armor. So enemies nearby will suffer damage in battle with them. Okay. We've got Doomflayer Gauntlets. Oh, these seem interesting. I just want to get all of them. We've got these guys then with Warp Braziers, so essentially flamethrowers attached to them. We also got the Chimerat, which I would love to see what it looks like. So I definitely want to see if I get my hands on that. Mutant Rat Ogres, Normal Rat Ogres, Brood Horrors. Oh, where's the... Oh, here are the rest of them. So we can also get Storm Fiends with Warp Fire Projectors, Rattling Cannons, Wind Launchers, and of course units like the Doom Wheels and stuff like that, and the Doom Flayers. Oof. Thing is, what am I going to get rid of to try out these creatures? I'll tell you what, let's have a quick look at how many do I get? 4. Okay, so it's not going to be a massive amount of troops. I'll be honest, I don't really know which one to get rid of. Just because all of them have proven their use to me over the course of these battles. Everything from the Terror Below, the Clan Molder's Best are just good combat troops to charge right in. I mean, I suppose I could maybe get rid of 2 units and swap them out for the more melee-focused ones. You know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to get rid of these 3 units, right? We might lose a bit of loyalty, but that's okay. With the 3 global recruitment slots we've got, we're going to get our hands on, first of all, some melee-focused Storm Fiends, just so we can see what they're like. We've got quite a few options to pick, but I'm thinking out of these, I'm going to get my hands on the Doomflayer Gauntlets and the Shock Gauntlets, and then I want to get my hands on the Chimerats. I just want to see what that looks like in battle. It looks so cool. We are going to have to wait a while, but that's okay. We can give him a chance to rest up. He's been in a lot of battles recently, so that's okay. Right, Bubble Rat is already moved. Everybody else now has moved, ready to go. And we've finished upgrading everything, really. Let's just finish up upgrading this. So, E-Kitch now. We'll finish off giving you Arms Dealer, I guess. Just increase that. Okay, Plague Rock, I'll give you replenished troops just to finish that, and hit enter. Okay, now, so unfortunately we've got some more incursions to deal with, but I'm sure we'll be okay with those. Upskeef is now back. A final supper? What? Oh, right. Apparently some of our budding magic-using rats have decided to dabble in ogre gastromancy, which summoned the Great Maw, which means everybody now has reduction in Mountains of Magic. Damn it. Okay, raiding. Right. At this point, guys, I think I'll end today's episode here. We've managed to do quite a bit of damage to enemy forces, especially with Mormel. We're in a position now to go after Mazamundi in the next episode. And once we've dealt with him, we can start marching up then and basically taking other territory like Quinatax, Chakra, and start making our way up to this point, when we can start pushing up then into their core territories. Now we do have our Undercity here, but we're not exactly getting much out of it. I'd rather take the city itself. And yeah, looking forward to taking the fight now to the Lizard Men. But like I said, we'll end it here for today, guys. So, thank you for watching today's episode. Hope you enjoyed. And now you do join me next time, of course, for some more Warhammer. But until then, everybody, take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.